Off-roading with kids, what works and what doesn't? Learn from me.
Buckle up, Buttercup!
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to share some real life experience and tips and tricks that I've learned in the past 5 to 6 years about off-roading with my kids. I've been off-roading with my kids since my youngest was about 4 or 5. Now they're getting older, it's much easier, but I'm going to go over some things that you should keep in mind before going off-roading with the kids, and be prepared, and don't be like how I was in the beginning, not prepared. First things first, we need to talk about safety. You need to have a conversation with your kids before you're on the trails about how important it is that they listen to you while you're out doing things. It's not a suggestion, it is important, and sometimes their lives can depend on it. This really depends on where you're going off-road. If you're going to an off-road park, those tend to be very busy, and let's face it, there are some morons there that are drinking, driving crazy, and your child can easily get injured or ran over. We don't want any of that. So it's important that you keep your eyes on them and they know to keep their eyes on you and their ears open to everything that you have to say. It's really important when you're stopped at trail stops or you're doing recovery because you're stuck or someone else is stuck, that your kid stays where you tell them to stay. They love to wander, they love to explore, they can easily get hit by a car, they can get hurt falling down by a tree, like who knows, kids can get hurt. If there's a way, they will find it. A couple things to keep in mind is when you are doing recoveries, if you have a winch or any sort of tow rope, there's always a potential that that rope can break. So if your kid's going to stay in the car, just make sure, they're protected with seats and everything like that, because if that thing snaps, that could kill someone. If they're going to be outside of the vehicle, keep them a safe distance, at least as far as the rope is long. I also recommend that some adult stays with them, whether it's dad, mom, aunt, cousin, big sibling. I do recommend that. And since kids do like to explore and you want them to enjoy the outdoors, I do recommend a first aid kit. Now, I'm not talking about a first aid kit with gauze, like thinking they're gonna get hit by a car or anything like that, but basic essentials. They're gonna be in the weeds, the real tall grass, they're gonna need bug spray, they're gonna be out in the sun, they're gonna need sunscreen, and they're probably gonna sniff a flower and get stung by a bee, so you want Band-Aids because that simply just might make them feel better. And just a note for the dads out there, I know some dads just wanna throw some dirt on their boo-boo and suck it up, Buttercup, you're gonna be okay. You may think twice when the kid is whining and complaining. You're gonna be like, man, I know that I give this kid a Band-Aid and instantly all of the pain goes away. Why didn't I think about that? This is not a place for tough love. This is a place for loving memories. A few other items I would add to that first aid kit would be sanitizer and wipes. Not just because you're gonna be dirty and you're gonna need to wipe yourself off, but sometimes duty calls and you're gonna want those wipes. That pretty much sums up while you're at pit stops on the trail. The other thing to keep in mind is when you're in the vehicle doing the trails. The kids need to be in a seatbelt or a car seat, non-negotiable. They don't need to be hanging out the window. We want them to enjoy themselves, but we also want them to stay safe. You may say, Krista, I'm going 20, 25 miles an hour. Let the kid hang out the window. I'm not here to tell you how to parent, but unexpected things happen all the time, and I'm gonna play it safe. My kids are gonna be in the proper restraints. That's a non-negotiable for all the passengers in my Bronco. Let's face it, the name of the channel is Buckle Up, Buttercup. That should be a given. Since we're on the subject of safety, I sat down and asked my kids, what was the most dangerous thing you've ever seen or experienced off-road? And this is what they said.
Probably on Schaefer Trail whenever it was so narrow.
When I saw that other Bronco almost fall off.
Probably a cliff edge.
Now we're going to talk about the second most important thing, and that's food. We know kids love to eat, and they would eat 24 hours a day, and eating keeps them happy, which means a happy kid, happy parent. I have brought a lot of trail snacks along the years. A few of my favorites are meat sticks, bite-sized snacks so you don't have to worry about crumbs, bite-sized snack bars, and of course crackers and fruit roll-ups are always a go-to, even Uncrustables or those type of pre-packed Lunchable sandwiches. Don't forget packing a water bottle, and if you have a big family like myself, you may be tempted to use something like this. I am going to tell you something that doesn't work in my opinion. If you fill this up with ice, you're going to hear slush, slush. It's going to sound like a slushy as you're going through the bumps, and it's going to eventually start making you go crazy. In fact, if you watch my latest video, When we went to Windrock in Tennessee in April, you can hear that in the background. Just imagine listening to that for 3 to 4 hours. It's enough to make you go crazy. And this is a tip for the parents with multiple children, which I'm sure you already know this by now. Kids are territorial, especially when it comes to their siblings. They don't want to share the big bag of Doritos. They want their own bag or box filled with their own stuff because Maya's sticky fingers just went through the bag and contaminated it. You don't want to deal with that. They don't want to share a water bottle. So give every kid their own snack and their own water bottle. I promise you will thank me later. Another thing I've learned the hard way is don't bring things like chocolate, especially if you live in Florida and you're going out in the summer and it has the potential to leak out of its wrapper, kind of like a Hershey Kiss. Because you know what's going to happen? You're going to have a pile of them in your trunk. They fell out of the bag and they're going to be melted all over the cargo area, and your kid's going to open up the trunk and be like, somebody pooped. And then you just have a whole mess to clean up. So learn from me, don't bring the chocolate. But you know, I'm not a kid. This is just the parent suggestion. Let's ask the kids what their favorite go-to off-road snack is.
Probably like Cheez-Its or something like that, yeah.
Cheez-Its.
Goldfish.
Your sisters all said Cheez-Its. Same thing. So you took my advice. You've got every kid's water bottle, their boxes, their snacks, and you walk up to your Bronco and you're like, where the heck am I going to put all this? Because we know Broncos don't have that much storage space. Well, here's a solution. And guess what? I got all of these things from buckleupoffroad.com. I always let them keep the water bottle up front and one snack. Everything else I typically put in the trunk cargo area of the Bronco. It helps keep things out of their way. It's not by their feet. Less things to fly around in the air when you're jumping the Bronco, and just keeps everyone happy. Now I try not to overpack and bring a lot of things, but if we're going to be out on the trails most of the day, I do need to be prepared for lunch, dinner, and snacks. Thankfully, I have a lot of storage options. I have the cup holders on the sides, in the front, and in the back. I've got some storage up front. I also have the roll bar storage bags and other molly panels that I can put my bags on and fill up with a bunch of gear. Some say I may overpack. Some say I underpack. Who do you think is going to tell the truth? The kids. Let's ask them.
Probably too much, like stuff in the trunk. Like the little things that you like have to drive on, like those little like tire things.
Oh, the track boards?
Yeah, those things. I don't even know what they're for.
So
but
you don't
those.
think I need them?
Not enough.
What am I missing?
Candy.
Not enough stuff.
Not enough stuff? What do you think I need?
More food.
All right, you talked over safety, you got them food, you have a place to put their food. Now you got to think about entertainment. I don't highly recommend devices, iPads, phones, things like that, but let's face it, sometimes you just need the distraction. So you need to be prepared and have all of your chargers. Depending where your location is on the trails, you may not have Wi-Fi, so I recommend downloading videos or any games prior to the trip. But let's face it, I grew up without having a device in front of me, and there are ways to entertain your kids without electronics. Let's go back to the olden days. We have I Spy. We also have off-road bingo. So you basically print off a piece of paper of things you might see out in the wilderness. The first one to get bingo, we play cover it all, wins a special piece of candy at the end of the trail. You can turn it into a nature study. Bring a notebook, have them draw birds and trees that they've seen on the trail. Or a favorite of ours is rate the trail. How fun was it on a scale of 1 to 10? And then of course, have an off-road playlist. Let's have the family all jam out. Everyone gets to add their favorite song. You're creating memories and having fun all at the same time. But don't take it from me. Let's ask the kids, what's their go-to way to keep them entertained? Let's ask them.
My phone.
Look outside the window.
Watching you drive is entertaining to me.
Now let's go over some other must-have gear options for kids. Something you don't think about until it's too late is their shoes. Make sure they're not wearing their brand new shoes you bought them for school. Make them wear junky old shoes. Get them some boots like mom so they can get all muddy and have fun. Keep in mind their clothes. Don't let them wear their brand new white t-shirt. Make sure they're dressed for the occasion. And it always helps to have a change of clothes and shoes in the car, just in case you plan to go somewhere afterwards and you're just covered in mud. When my kids were younger, they loved using walkie-talkies and communicating with each other when we were at a trail stop. They were big adventurers and spies. It was really fun to see them use their imagination. They also loved catching bugs and butterflies, so any sort of bug net or bug carrier, flashlights, little magnifying glasses were always a hit and created great memories for the whole family. Now my kids are older, although they do use their imagination, they are teenagers now. So let's ask them, what are the 3 things they're gonna take with them if they go off-road?
Probably my phone, AirPods, and like food, probably.
iPad, headphones, and a blanket.
My phone, food, and shoes.
Now let's talk about the route. How long is it gonna take you to get to the trails? How long is it gonna take you to get home? Traffic, all that kind of stuff. You need to consider nap times if your kids are younger, and you need to consider trail stops. Are there stops along the trail that would be fun, entertaining, educational? It's best to kind of break it up so the kids aren't in the back seat for 9 hours straight. My kids have had a lot of fun during our off-road adventures. Let's ask them what some of their favorite spots have been.
Like Utah area.
Utah.
Windrock.
No matter how hard you've planned, no matter how prepared you are, in all the years I've gone off-road, there are times when it just doesn't go the way that you wanted it to go. And my advice is be slow to anger and watch what you say. We are here to make memories with your kids, not just memories, but good memories. So if your kid has to go poop in the middle of the trail and you're in the middle of nowhere, you've just got to be like, you know, I thought I was prepared. I didn't think about a kid having to go poop. You just do your best and make light of the situation. Eventually, years down the road, that's going to be a core memory for your whole family, and you want everyone to remember you laughing about it, poking fun about it, not being mad and screaming at them. So it's important to go in with the right mindset. Nothing is perfect ever, but the way you react is going to make an everlasting impact, and it may very well make everyone love off-roading or hate off-roading. We have created a lot of great memories as a family, and I want you to create memories too. Now I'm going to ask my kids what some of their favorite memories are.
Just like exploring, I guess.
To see like the trees and stuff.
Getting the car dirty.
The bad experiences can create great memories. Let's ask my kids what their worst off-roading experience was.
I don't really have a worse one, but one that like was fun, but it also wasn't, was like the one in Tennessee when it was like so sticky and like wet. And then whenever I was little, I had to like pee in a bucket because we were in the middle of nowhere.
Whenever we like kept on sliding.
Probably getting stuck a lot.
If you've never been off-road, I do encourage you to try it. Don't be scared. If you have kids, bring them along, go on short trails. It's really a great experience, a bonding experience, and it's adventurous and it's fun. I'm going to take a look back at some of the memories and ask my kids some questions about their off-road adventures. What do you do when the Bronco goes sideways or gets in a troublesome spot?
I usually start recording just in case if like it flips or something.
Hold on for dear life.
Have fun, I don't know, put your hands up. Yay.
Like a roller coaster?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like the bumps or hate them?
It depends. Like if I'm in like a mood to like record and like pay attention, then it's fun. But if I want to just like chill, then I don't really like it.
I hate them.
Why?
Because they make my head go like.
I like them.
How do you help when mom's stuck?
I don't really help. I don't really know. I don't really do anything.
Motivate her.
That's a good one.
Take a video of it. Pretty helpful.
Future content creators.
Mm-hmm.
What's the scariest thing we've done off-roading?
Well, it's not really scary anymore, but like for the first time we did it was like whenever you had to drive up that little thing, that was kind of scary.
Going down like a really like big mountain.
Probably sliding through the park with the raining.
That's all 3 of you have said that. If you could build your own off-road Bronco, what color would it be and what kind of mods would you have on it?
It would be like kind of lifted because I don't want it to like be too short, and then it'd probably be like a light blue color, like white accent colors.
It would be pink and it would be like a Barbie Bronco.
Probably matte black. Really high tires. That's really it.
What's the worst thing about being stuck in the car?
Just being like bored. I don't know.
Sitting in the middle.
Kind of boring a little bit.
That's going to wrap it up for this video. Go off-road, take your kids, make memories. That's what this is all about. Be sure to like and subscribe and check out buckleupoffroad.com for all of your recovery needs for the Bronco and all the goodies you'll ever need. Until next time, guys, buckle up, Buttercup. I was trying to ignore it, but it kept like landing on me.
Buckle up, Buttercup!